Welcome back to the warm up with Ja and Ben today. Continuing our season outlook, we are continuing with the San Antonio Spurs with Victor Wembanyama and the crew. But before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and all that good stuff. And please follow our new social media feeds on Instagram and Twitter as well. So, getting into our season outlook with the Spurs, man, we got Victor Wembanyama entering year 3. All generational great players end up making the playoffs at least one time by year 3. Wembanyama still has not done that. Even LeBron missed his first 2 years. And then they built out a roster that is, I wouldn't say it's a championship level, but has a lot of youth and internal growth that could be exciting. So let's get into it.
All right, starting with the roster breakdown. From the bottom to the top here, there is a lot to go over. We'll start with Wemby, obviously sitting there. De'Aaron Fox, you brought in at the trade deadline. You still have Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, veteran, Keldon Johnson, another veteran guy. Kelly Olynyk, you got in the offseason. You could bring him off the bench. They got really lucky in the lottery, going all the way up to number 2, once again getting lottery luck and drafting Dylan Harper, which obviously is going to be confusing as De'Aaron Fox is also there as well. It's going to be a story that's going to play out. One of the big additions I liked was them bringing in Luke Cornett as the backup center. I think that's going to be really nice. Mm-hmm. And then once again, with even more lottery luck, they were able to draft Stephon Castle in years past. So he is going to be going into his second season. You also have Carter Bryant, who you once again drafted. And he is probably going to be a defensive player of the year one of these days. Mm-hmm. Sham Penny, who has obviously gone in and done a lot of great stuff. Lindy Waters, Jordan McLaughlin, more guys that can produce. When I look at this roster, I think to myself, all right, San Antonio, after they got rid of DeRozan and things just kind of spiraled after that, you look at this roster and you think, all right, we rebuilt. But, man, did they have some lottery luck. Getting Wemby, getting Castle, getting Harper, getting Bryant. I mean, these are guys that I guarantee, are going to do something in this league. Those 4 guys that I just mentioned. And then you also got Fox as well, who was fantastic in Sacramento and has one of the most lethal mid-range pull-ups I've ever seen. It's just automatic. So a lot of potential with this roster. The longer this rebuild goes for the Spurs, the better for the Western Conference, because I firmly believe that once this team gets into the playoffs, there's no turning back.
Right.
I think this is a team that could be dynastic. They can win multiple championships if Wemby is their best player and he stays healthy, because Wemby's just a freak of nature. 7'5", can do it all. And then the young guys around him are going to sprout into fantastic players, in my opinion. I'm really high on San Antonio. Love this roster. I want to hear more about your thoughts.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I want to start off by talking about Victor. So Victor last season exits the season with the blood clot. We know the whole story. But then this offseason really took it upon himself to go to the Monks cemetery for 2 weeks. And then he trains with Kevin Garnett and then Hakeem Olajuwon. And then he's training with Jamal Crawford. And he's doing all these little things that you see great players do every so often when they're young. And I think he's going to mature to a level that we didn't think he would hit this soon, which is very scary for the league, because he was going to win Defensive Player of the Year and it wasn't going to be close before he got hurt last year. If he's healthy, he's the DPOY. He still doesn't have one of those. Got robbed of it from Gobert his rookie year. And then I think this is the year we're going to finish the season where we're Wembanyama is a top 4 player, top 5 player, which is scary for the league, because if he's top 5, who knows? Does that mean the Spurs are a top 8 seed? They made the playoffs. They made the play-in. I think so. I think we're going to see another leap from Wemby. Fox missing the first couple weeks of the season is going to be interesting, because this gives Harper, just thrown into the water and sink or swim moment. And then Stephon Castle, he's a good. He won Rookie of the Year. Like, he's a good rookie. You pair him with this athleticism and this defensive tenacity he has. It's going to be an interesting year for the Spurs. I don't know if they have enough shooting, perhaps, but they got a lot of defensive versatility for sure.
In my personal opinion, let's say this team develops perfectly, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a few years, you could be looking at a starting lineup of Dylan Harper at the 1, Castle at the 2, Carter Bryant at the 3, someone at the 4, and Wemby at the 5.
Yeah.
Do you understand
Yeah.
how crazy that is if these guys develop? That's like a OKC blueprint. Like, that's your lineup. And everyone I just named that lineup: Stephon Castle, Rookie of the Year; Wembanyama, probably a top 5 player; Carter Bryant will be up for Defensive Rookie of the Year or, Defensive Player of the Year one day. It's unbelievable what they can do. And, like, I love De'Aaron Fox, I do, but it's really unfortunate for him that they had that lottery luck, because those two together, I don't think is going to last. Someone's got to go, and unfortunately, I think it's going to be Fox. That's not because there's anything wrong with Fox. Fox is amazing and can produce for 3/4 of the teams in the NBA, but the fit is not going to be there long term. Right. So I think Fox will get moved at some point if Harper emerges. If Harper is more of a slow process, I'm assuming Fox is going to emerge into that role and be exactly what we think he's going to be, which is fantastic. Yeah. So to turn it to Wemby, it's all about health. Obviously, you can't control blood clots, but there's the other factors with it. When you're 7'5", it can be very easy to have any kind of a lower body injury. So I think if he just stays conditioned and stays healthy, he should be fine. But that's going to be the key for them. Where do you see them finishing in the West this season?
If everything hits, I mean, this is a deep team. Like, we talk about teams like, I mean, they're not as deep as like the OKCs, the Denvers, or the Houstons of the world. But after that, I mean, you got Devin Vassell, a player who started almost all the time for you. You got Keldon Johnson, Kelly Olynyk, Luke Cornett, these Harrison Barnes. You have all these veteran players that know how to play in the NBA. They're not going to, like, when Wemby goes to the bench, they're not going to be a 0 anymore, which is, I think, is going to be huge. And I think, and because of that, you're not going to, on a night-to-night basis, they're just going to be able to run and gun. Sometimes they'll beat you with the offense. Sometimes they'll be a defensive juggernaut game. I think, for me, I think they for sure make the play-in this year, like, for sure, and they get their first taste. Are they a top 8 seed? I could see them being a top 8 seed if Wembanyama does become that 4th best player in the world, or top 5, top 6-ish player in the world, because he's going to have it defensively, 1 or 2. And then, I mean, I think it's a lot of pressure to put on Harper. I mean, I love Harper, but I think it's more of a long-term hit. I think Carter Bryant out the gates is going to be by far a player they're going to have to start. And so you have to wonder if players like Jeremy Sohan, who can't really shoot the 3, become expendable, and now you're trading for more pieces. And like you said, De'Aaron Fox, him being out the first 2-3 weeks, if Harper does hit, it's going to look like I mean, it sucks they just extended him too, which was interesting. They extended him after they knew they had Harper for the max. So that's another, talk for another day. But yeah,
you're speaking on Fox, right? Yeah. How many years was the extension? I believe it was 3.
4 Supermax.
It was the max. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting move. I forgot about that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what the guard position looks like. You obviously have options. Harper this season, I think his impact is unfortunately going to be diminished because Fox is there. We'll see what the minutes looks like. I think he's going to have a great individual season when he's on the floor. But like you said, if Wemby develops into that top 4 guy, I see no reason why this can't be a top 8 seed. But I do think play-in is a reasonable expectation, because play-in was my expectation for them last year, and they missed the playoffs. So, and even when Wemby was healthy, like I think if Wemby was healthy, they would have gotten in. I think they would have finished higher than Dallas or Sacramento, one of those two that were at the 10 or the 9. But your expectation has to be like, look, just get into the play-in first, see what happens, and try to get into the playoffs. But there is a scenario where this team could be a top 8 seed. I can't really count anybody out in the West that has a young roster with potential, because that is what's winning games in the Western Conference
Right.
in the past few years. So you just really don't know until you see it. But they are an intriguing team to watch, man. They have got pieces everywhere. The atmosphere in San Antonio is great. I've been out for plenty of games out there. The fans are excited. They never gave up on this team, regardless of how many wins they had in the season. And when you have that kind of energy in a city, those players are going to feed off of it, and it's going to be really exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Watching some of these highlights, I can't wait to see what second-year Stephon Castle looks like. I think he has a chance to be so special. I mean, when he is coming in, they compared him to Shea, which is insane, because then they drafted another potential all-star level point guard, and Dylan Harper. If Castle could become not the shot creator that Shea is, because that's asking a lot, but if he could just hit a 3 at like a 38% clip, that's going to go a long way for a team that lacks shooting, because he has athleticism, he has the downhill ability. We saw him in the dunk contest. It's about the other things, about the shooting, the pull up, which I also think is going to be nice to have a De'Aaron Fox, a proven vet who knows how to do all that stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thoughts. I don't know if you have anything else.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's just gonna be a good year. Wembanyama is probably by far one of the best watches to watch. Expect a big year out of him for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
I think this will be a team where it's like, you know, they will go as far as their youth takes them. This is a championship organization, so don't count them out. They're
right.
going to have these guys ready to go.
Yeah. Also, a quick side note before we wrap it up. Their coach, I forgot who they extended, but he was the interim coach while Pop was out with the
Yes.
medical issue. Kind of see what he's like. I mean, this is a first full season and off season without Pop. Like, is he going to be a good enough coach? And not saying he's on the hot seat or anything, but
Yeah,
it's
Mitch
one of
Johnson.
Mitch Johnson. And
Mm-hmm.
Pop obviously trusts him. He endorsed him to be the head coach, because I think Pop's now the GM, but it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, Pop moved to the front office, and even though Pop's not the coach, he's still here with a lot of those players, especially Wemby. So guys like that don't really leave your head.
Right. No, 100%. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. This season outlook of the San Antonio Spurs. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notification, all that good stuff. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter, where we have our new social media feeds as well. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace and stay safe.